Hello and welcome back to some more Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Where last time we discovered that actually Chapter 3 is a double murder. Yay! Fun, fun, fun! Because the first two games truly knocked their double murders out of the ballpark. And considering the fact that we've pretty much almost solved the entire mystery again, the mystery, the truth that we think is going to end up being correct is really, really stupid, I'm sure that these guys will nail it the third time around and knock this one out of the ballpark and prove that they know how to write a double murder. I'm sure of it. Anyway, before we get started, let's buy some skills, because we have 8 to work with, and really, I don't think we need to buy all that much, because, like I said last time, most of the minigames here are really, really fun and really well made. So we don't really need, we don't need influence or focus if we don't use either of those, I guess, except for, no, we don't use either of those. So we don't need any of these. Actually, I might want this. I'm going to say this for last. I might want to increase the speed of the reticle for some of the sections, but I'm going to say that for last, because what I really want, because, like, for instance, so don't need any of this stuff. I don't use the focus gauge or influence gauge. What is this? So, yeah, okay, we'll come back to this later. Debate Scrum is easy because it's a freebie minigame. I don't need to do anything for that. Hangman's Gambit is also easy. Don't need anything for that. Psych Taxi is really fun, and, well, I guess this would make it go by faster, but, I mean, it doesn't last that long, so I don't think it's really necessary to waste any skill points on that. Rebuttal Showdown is also really easy and a lot of fun, so I don't need anything for that. Mind Mine is also easy and fun, so I don't need anything for that. Oh, and this is the final, like, bullet time battle thing, so I don't need anything for that. The only minigame that's terrible is the Mass Panic Debate. So, we need things for that, and we need lots of them. Reveals V points. That's not useful. I don't use V points. Silences all conversations except those the reticle is on. That's useful. Instantly silences loud voices. That's also useful. Okay, we're gonna buy both of those. I want both of them. Give me that. And thank you. And then give me this. Thank you. Because I hate Mass Panic Debates, and whatever I can do to get through them faster is what I need. Okay, so put that on, and we're good. Okay. So, I wanted to buy the upshift, but I have a stronger desire to get Mass Panic Debate ability, so we'll put those on, and next time, because I think this will set us up for life for the current skill set, so unless they introduce another minigame, which I don't think they will in Chapter 3, but maybe they will. If nothing else gets introduced and we make it through this trial unscathed, then we'll buy upshift next time, and then we'll be all set to go. Okay, so that's all set and ready to go. Still set to mean difficulty on both logic and action, just to let you know. Let's get this train wreck started. We do not need a basic explanation of the class trial.
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm going to be much help this time.
Spoken as if you've been a bastion of knowledge and competence and deductive abilities in the previous trials.
Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
You've never done a thorough investigation in your life. What? Come on now.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
Who did it? Who killed Angie and Tenko?
That's a good question, but we're here to, you know, if Himiko, if one of us knew the answer to that question, we wouldn't be here, except that we already do know the answer. It's Koikiyo. We have the evidence to prove it, but these people, for some reason, don't. So, I don't know what you think asking that's going to accomplish, because that's the whole reason we're here, is to answer that question. If someone already knew the answer, then we wouldn't really need to be here now, would we?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment. There may be 2 killers.
And to no one's surprise, the first person to lead the charge in this discussion is Koikiyo.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
What?
Hmm? What do you mean?
The transfer student.
What?
Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
I swear to God, if you are going to try to entertain the idea for longer than 5 seconds that is even kind of a possibility, don't even try.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
Say something, Shuichi. It'll be a mess of biscuits going on.
Is it even possible for a revived corpse to be the culprit? It's no. But don't even, just please don't pursue this avenue. I don't want to spend 10 minutes telling you all about how this makes no sense. Well, in the interest of being thorough, no. Oh, really? We're going to address this. Oh, really? Oh, joy. Ah, okay. What do we gotta do?
Crime was committed by the recently deceased.
No, what?
They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates.
I swear to God.
So,
Kaito.
ritual did work?
No, it obviously, no, okay, okay, it obviously didn't work because okay.
Angie did say
It obviously didn't work because the Necronomicon explicitly states that you have to burn the book once you're done. So like, the fact that we have this book at all means that it definitely didn't work.
Ritual did work? That's wrong.
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual. If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, going to think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
I'm sorry. I can't take this seriously. I can't believe the fact that these characters are so confidently declaring the fact that there is no way a dead person can resurrect when Danganronpa 3 is a show that exists. Okay, so, like, because they came out pretty close together, right? Let's, maybe they wrote them, well, even if we, I don't know what's worse. If they wrote them, if they wrote this after Danganronpa 3, and the writers are too stupid to realize what they've done, and they don't realize how this just spits in the face of that show even more. Or if they wrote them simultaneously and had no idea what was happening with each other, and then the writers of this game watch the show, and they're like, can we remove that line of dialogue, please? Because, oh boy, we just made ourselves look really stupid. I can't believe we entertained that the idea for even a second.
Now hold on a second.
Oh, what?
Can't let that comment stand.
Now what?
Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life.
I can't, dude.
But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Daddy said so.
Ah, just shut up. You're terrible.
So resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
Please, no.
There's no way it's possible.
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us. Let's hurry up and find out who the Black and
Maki, by chance, have you seen a show called Danganronpa 3? Because if you, let me tell you something. There's this little thing that happens in the show where people get revived from the dead. There's a whole big scene about it. And it's not just them, other characters get revived from the dead too. So, in Danganronpa, at this point, I don't think there's anything that this game could do that would surprise me. At this point in my life, with how far down this stupid rabbit hole I've gone, I really do not believe that there is anything this game could do that would surprise me.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
Like, now, with that said, it baffles the hell out of me that we are actually continuing this avenue of conversation for the fact that these people are like, oh, maybe they did come back to life and kill us. No.
Who did it?
If we knew, we'd have told you already.
Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this.
Oh, don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, step back, make way for Miyu. Miyu Uruma is gonna come here to save the day with her big brain plays. Just you wait.
I don't know about Tenko, but I'm sure Keo murdered Angie.
I mean, yes. Wait a minute. Hasn't she predicted who the killer is every single time? Because I know last time she said that Kurumi was, that she said I think Kurumi did it. And then in the first chapter, I'm pretty sure she said Kaede was probably the culprit. She just takes random shots in the dark, and she's, I mean, I guess I could technically be wrong, but the evidence lines up to the point where I don't think I am. But she just takes random shots in the dark, and she's correct. Unless this is gonna be the shortest trial in history, and she's just gonna, like, maybe the game is like self-learning, and then it detects the fact that the player is just so fed up with this game's bullshit at this point. It's like, all right, I get that you hate this game and you hate playing. Well, okay, saying I hate this game is a bit of a stretch. I mean, it's just standard Danganronpa. I think it's just fatigue. I'm just so sick of playing Danganronpa with its stupid trial mechanics, and it's perpetual desire to keep breaking the world that I just want it to end. So it might be that, but either way, my point here is, like, it's like, okay, I get the player is having a terrible time playing this, so let's just get it over with and have the character solve it all immediately, and then we can all go home. Okay, let's see. What I have a feeling that Miyu's, is it gonna do the thing where they're like, oh, Miyu guessed the culprit, but her logic is incorrect, and therefore it can't be. It can't have been him that did it. Is that what we're going down here?
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Keo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom, broke in.
No, that didn't happen. That did not happen. Because Tsumigi, yep, we have this, okay, Tsumigi could testify. No, you are the furthest thing from a genius there, buddy. Because we have the alibi from Tsumigi that says that she was in charge of making sure that no one else could unlock the door. So no one was getting into that room unless she let them in, which that was not gonna happen. Tsumigi wasn't letting anyone in, so nice try, buddy. Solid 3 out of 10 attempt, but you've once again demonstrated your burgeoning intelligence, I say with the utmost sarcasm. You didn't break in. Of course that happened. I love Danganronpa trial mechanics. They're so much fun. Okay, maybe I should be more specific. I hate non-stop debate mechanics. The other minigames in this game, with the exception of Mass Panic Debate, are fine. Some of them are even kind of enjoyable, but this specific minigame, that one was entirely on me. I hit the wrong button. That one was 100% on me. I hit the wrong button. That was 100% on me. That's not even gonna try to say anything about that. That was I pushed the wrong button there. But this gameplay as a whole, this system of having to aim the stupid thing with the flying words around the screen, it just, ever since the first game I've hated these mechanics. But whatever. We're 3 chapters away. After this trial, we'll be 3 chapters away from the end. We just gotta keep pushing on.
Keo would not have been able to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
And Keo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Keo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
Oh, really? Do tell.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the yeah?
Okay. Now I'm convinced my theory is true. I mean, I was already convinced, but now I'm doubly convinced. Because our theory is that Angie's murder was an accidental murder, which doesn't even make any sense, but I think what it's gonna have, in case you missed last episode, the current working theory is that he was setting up a stupid seesaw trap, Angie stumbled in, and he's like, bonk, gotta kill you now, because you're a witness, and then set up the whole stupid murder scene in the fake murder scene in the art room, and then committed a second murder during the seance, which doesn't make any goddamn sense at all. But I think that my theory is correct now, because he said, let me get the exact quote. Not that. Open up the thing. Open up the thing. I had no desire to kill her in the first place, which according to our theory is actually true. He did not have any desire to kill Angie. It was a stupid instinct, spur of the moment thing, which, whatever, I'll talk about all this when we get to the end of the trial, but I think you might actually be telling the truth there.
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer.
Ay.
You actually got it.
Joke's on you, I was just pretending to be an idiot. Yep.
Oh, how clever.
Gone to...
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta, Kibo, Sumugi, and Himiko.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie. I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously. Let's believe in...
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Sumugi, and Kibo.
I am stunned with how quickly this group of people decided that that is automatically true.
Yep. The culprit is one of those 3 people.
No.
You mean one of those 2 people. Because a robot ain't people, Jack.
Oh, Miyu. Is this really the time for you to play the semantics game? We're in the middle of a murder investigation, and you're gonna take the time to say, actually, Kibo is technically a robot, so therefore, when you say those 3 people, you actually only mean 2 people. Really? Is this the time for you to pull your actually card? The answer is no. No, it's not.
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad too hasty?
The culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Sumugi? Well,
Sumugi, if Sumugi confesses, that would make up for her not confessing in the first chapter.
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far.
Oh, is it now? So executions are fine, but torturing Gonta, that's where you draw the line, Sumugi? Okay. Just making sure. Making sure I got this straight. Oh no, don't. Is it time for a mass panic debate? Oh no. Oh, great. Okay. Now what? Well, let's hope our skills come in handy here. Oh, let me call it now. It's gonna be like, no one else could get into the student council room. But then I'm gonna be like, oh wait, Kokichi can pick locks, so obviously he could have gotten in. So I'm looking for something. You have an other possible dead chick, him the culprit. Go into the room. Excuse me. I'm that far fetched. Oh yeah, I called it. That's exactly what it had to be. And yes, those skills make that significantly less painful to deal with.
No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have, because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Now that doesn't mean like I don't think for even a second that Kokichi. I don't think I'm gonna get lucky enough for Kokichi to be a murderer or a victim. But you know, I gotta follow the train of logic of the game. So.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember.
This little motherfucker is giving Nagito a run for his money. I never thought I'd see the day, but he's really giving him a run for his money. Like, Bakuya has elevated beyond my hatred. I still stand by what I said in the first two, my LPs of the first 2 games, because his attitude in the first 2 games was not the best, and I really don't like how he was characterized. But by the end of Danganronpa 3, he did come around, so, you know, he had something. Nagito is still terrible, and I hate him with, I hate everything about that character with a fiery passion to 1,000 suns. I hated him before Chapter 5 and his stupid luck bullshit with Chiaki, and I hated him after it and during. I just hate him all the time. And I never thought there would be another character that would be worse than him, and I still can't say definitively whether or not he is. But oh boy, he is really giving Nagito a run for his money.
Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie,
Yeah, I'm not falling for that even for a second.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie.
I would get mad at the fact that he's treating this like a joke because he's just a terrible person and he thinks life's a one big joke. But I'm just whatever.
The culprit was me, all along.
Who's been messing up everything? It was Kokichi all along.
What are you saying? Is this some kind of...
I just realized the irony of what I said immediately before cutting to Himiko dressed up in her magician's costume. You know what?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins.
Right, that's why it took you 20 minutes to confess.
And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew.
If you guys could see my face, you would see the lack of expression on it, and you would see just how little I care. And how much I don't believe you.
Ichi really is culprit?
No.
No, he's lying.
Of course he's lying.
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie.
No, you didn't.
Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Oh, you mean like in the first chapter when Kaede confessed, and then you're all like, nah, that can't be right, that can't be right.
Then let me ask you, culprit, how did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, yeah, he doesn't have any idea. He doesn't know the complex spinning rope mechanism thing that Korikiyu set up where he stabbed. Oh my god, I hate this chapter. It's gonna be terrible. This trial is gonna break my brain. If my theory is correct, where he stabbed the katana into fake Kaede's dead body, spun her around so that she would build up tension in the rope, and then let go, and then leave the room through the back door, which would then, and then the katana would spin around and slide the lock shut.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
What different method? Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was...
The back door. The back door was locked, yep. Back door was locked last.
That's it! The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
The gold leaf katana. The tool that the culprit used to lock the sliding lock from outside was... Oh, Mind Mine already? Okay. It is time for Mind Mine, I suppose. Alright. So I guess now we're just gonna start breaking things. Yeah, the only thing about this minigame that's kind of annoying is the fact that we really have no way to know for sure where, like, what we're looking for. Well, I mean, I know what we're looking for. We're looking for the gold leaf katana. The problem is I have no idea, like, where it is. Oh, there it is. It's right there. I'm blind as a bat. Okay. So this should be easy. I just gotta break a few more things. Is that enough for me to select it? Not yet. Okay, okay, I'll mash a few of the individual ones because we have the time to spare. And can I select it now? Oh, yes, I can. That is not the gold. Oh, that's the sheath. You know what? That's the sheath. That's the sheath of the gold leaf katana is what that is. I thought, okay, never mind. That's my bad. I thought that showing the, here it is. Okay, here's the actual thing. That's on me. I thought that the sheath would contain the katana itself within it. That one's on me. I was incorrect. So here's the actual thing. Gotta break a few more things, and can I select this? Here we go. Clear.
I see it.
That said, the method through which they actually close the lock with this stupid katana is bullshit.
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was in the sliding lock
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically,
A school bell. Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Oh my god.
now, that does...
Don't care.
Gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock. But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
Oh, you better brace yourselves for the answer to that question. Let me tell you.
The answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
A different purpose? What could that have been? The culprit somehow used the setup to lock the room. In that case, I needed to know the reason behind every step of that setup. I think I might have some answers for you. If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Ooh, Psych Taxi. Alright. Let's begin. Is there going to be another Monokuma we can run over? I guess I'll have to wait and see. Alright. Our first question. No way to know for sure. We're going to have to wait until we actually get some letter cubes to find the answer to that. But yeah, it's a pretty simple minigame. You know, it's nothing too complicated. It's literally just like turn left, turn right, grab the letter cubes, and then you call it a day. But, you know, it's kind of fun. I kind of like the art style of it, and the controls are functional, so it's fine. So the last thing is sliding lock. LE, handle of the, what turned the handle of the sliding lock? Okay. What turned the handle of the sliding lock is going to be the answer, is going to be the question we're trying to answer here. Also, we have an absurd amount of time to get this done. Like, we have, like, I think a total of 7 minutes is how long this lasts. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I like the art style. The controls work pretty well. That's kind of a bit of, you know, a self-challenge to kind of guess the question before it actually is revealed properly. And then, of course, the general atmosphere of it kind of reminds me of like I said, it reminds me of Outrun, which is the game I played when I was super, super young. So, you know, maybe it's a personal thing, but I really like this minigame a lot. Not the effigy's hand, the hilt of the katana was what slid it. Welcome to the car. Have fun. This is your, what's it called? Cash Cab? Yeah, I think there's a show, I think it's something like that. Something like Cash Cab, where, like, a cab driver goes around and then they get on the passengers get in the taxi and then they play a game show inside the taxi that they have to answer as many questions as possible before they reach a destination or something. I don't know, it's something like that. So I was trying to reference that show. It's like this, hey there friend, welcome to your Cash Cab or whatever, but it failed. What katana turned the, what was done to the, what was done to make the katana turn the, we don't know. I guess it would be lock. Yeah, okay. What was done to make the katana turn the lock is what this is. That's the question at hand here. Yeah, you really have plenty of time to get this done. So you can miss a lot of letter cubes, and you'd hit the wall a few times, but you have way more than enough time to get this done. Honestly, I didn't even realize there was a time restraint when I first played this last time, because it just moved so, we got through it so quickly. I didn't even, it also, like, I guess I just didn't notice it was a time restraint because of how quickly we did it and all that. Katana, yeah, the katana was stabbed into the effigy. That's how that one was pulled off. Okay, final question time, or I guess we got to go a little bit longer. Yeah, okay, now we're heading on to the next question. Oh, this is a long one. This is a big old long one is what this is. Okay. That word's going to be effigy up at the top. Alright, we got a long row of letter cubes right here. Yeah, there's too many blank spaces for me to guess what this is. I'm guessing the last word's going to be lock. I can't make it. Yeah, okay, so that is effigy up there. There's just too many blank letters for me to properly... katana affect the lock, I think. What was done to the effigy? Oh, manipulated. How was the effigy manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? I think. I don't know what the first set of words is, but it's something along those lines of asking about how the effigy was manipulated to make the katana affect the lock. Yeah, right there. Okay, so we're just missing the first word. First word, few more letter cubes. Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. How was And the answer is that they spun it up to create the tension so that they would release it. Okay. Okay. We're sliding against the side of the railing there, buddy. Okay. That was a bit of a weird animation for the car. Alright, we're almost to the end. Thinking game. Yeah. Just let me take control. And the answer... Ooh, 3 choices. The answer is spinning it. And we win. Nice. Okay, I don't think our performance is gonna be as good as it was last time because I hit the wall a lot of times there. But I think we still did pretty okay.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Which is just... Oh my god.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope, and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock, and thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Oh my god.
That's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with a katana.
The idea that he says that with a straight face like this makes perfect sense is just comical.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. But could it have moved the slide lock so
No, it could not have.
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it.
It doesn't matter. The odds of this happening at all are just astronomically low.
The katana hit the lock. It would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
are you saying it's the student council's fault?
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we figured it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
Like, I don't think I'm clear about this. The slightest bit of momentum that would be gained by the spinning her around would have caused a little bit of momentum to gain up. Just even being a slight bit off, no way that would ever work.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have hit the lock closed.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't want to completely ignore that
he also said that he was the culprit, so...
But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Why? He's a pathological liar. I don't know why you keep getting surprised by this.
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Man, you guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
Correct, you're not. You're a waste of time.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Jesus Christ.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
Because he's a waste of oxygen and he was sent to this planet to test my patience.
I wanted to lure the culprit out.
Yeah,
If I
yeah, huh?
claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious.
Yeah, which is why anyone with a brain would never have done that. And shockingly, your plan failed spectacularly. Astounding.
Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
That didn't go your way because no one in this room is stupid enough to do that.
You and your fucking lies.
Also, I don't think you. I have no faith in Kokichi's ability to like. I don't think he would ever be smart enough to come up with that plan by himself. Like, come on.
Okay, I'll start right now.
All right. So, who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Korkiyu.
You can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Why are these two people in the same game? These two, they just need to have their own room, and then we just like leave them there for now, just to like vent out their frustrations and desires, I guess. Just leave them in a room and just see what happens. Cause like these people, I can't. This. Ugh.
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
The fuck is fucking script? What is this dialogue? Who wrote this dialogue?
What should we talk about now?
Anything else. Literally anything else. Let's talk about bugs. That'd be better than talking about what we just... Oh my god.
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members...
I just realized something. Oh my god. I just realized something terrible. So when Danganronpa S comes out later this year, there is the potential to put Miyu, Kokichi, and Teru in the... and Toko, for that matter, in the same goddamn room. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
Fastest reverse card in history, given what you said earlier, but okay.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. It's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect? Never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate?
Can we just duct tape his mouth shut permanently?
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Oh, for God's sake.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers, what should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list?
What is this? What is this dialogue? What are you talking about?
Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
Stop talking! What are you doing?
That's sort of a difficult question.
What is this? What is the end game here? What is the goal of this? What are you talking?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
It's difficult to formulate a logical response to anything Kokichi does.
Not articulate with words, huh?
Oh, fucking hell, you do not have any ground to stand on here, buddy.
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
She didn't, is the answer. She literally didn't. There's no reason. There's absolutely no justifiable reason for why the hell Korikiyu had to go after her. He already had his kill. He already killed Angie. He already had his gateway to freedom. In fact, I can almost guarantee you that had he not gone for the second kill, he would have gotten away easily. Because we may be able to deduce how the locker mystery was set up, but there's nothing, unless I'm missing something, which I may very well be, and I'll admit that, but unless I'm missing something, there's nothing in that art room that even remotely links this crime to Korikiyu. If he did not go for the second murder, he would have gotten away scot-free instantly. We never would have been able to pin this on him. Or not pin this on him. We never would have been able to tie this case back to him. But for some moronic reason, he's decided to go for another kill with a stupid seance. Which doesn't make any sense at all. I just...
What happened to Angie too, but can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first blackened responsible for the first victim. We've got to figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless.
And you really don't think they're linked, even in the slightest? You don't think there's any reason at all for any cause for suspicion? None whatsoever.
Did you suggest that to waste our
It's
time?
not meaningless! Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you!
Okay, he could have phrased it better, but that's not... Okay, you're both... Okay, so what Kokichi said is stupid and dumb and terribly wrong. Because, just... First of all, we can link Core... Because we may not be able to find anything in the locked room mystery that links Korikyu to that murder by itself, but what we do have evidence from the Seance murder, which then retroactively links the two together, because obviously the motive with Angie walking in, discovering the seesaw, and the duct tape wrapped around her head, meaning she had to move from somewhere else and all that, so, and the dry blood underneath the floorboards to link the two together, so, obviously, the fact that there's dry blood there, and then the blood with the duct tape in her hair, which is stupid, that links the two together. There's obviously a connection. So maybe solving the second murder will help us solve the first murder. Since obviously there's literally, we've exhausted all avenues of discussion in regards to the first murder. There's nowhere left to run. There are no more clues we've missed. We discovered the locker mystery, and that's it. The thing with the hair and the duct tape is meaningless unless you talk about the second murder mystery, because we have nowhere else there's nothing left to discuss here. The only way we can make progress in this discussion is by discussing Tenko's murder in the seance room. So I don't know what you're talking about, Kokichi, but obviously there's a link between them, and even if you think there wasn't, there is first off, there's no time limit. There's nothing you can only gain new information. You can only help yourself by talking about Tenko's murder now. I don't know what the hell you're trying to pull here, Kokichi, but just please stop. You're not smart. You don't know what you're talking about. But over on Himiko's side of things, I get that she's going through an emotional high because, like, I get it. I understand it. If I were in her position, I probably would be feeling the same way, right? Because, like, if someone really close to me died, like, so suddenly, like, my emotions would be through the roof and I would be inconsolable. I get it. I understand. I empathize. I get it, Himiko. Trust me. But you gotta take a step back and realize that that's not... He didn't say her death was meaningless, and you are putting me in a position where I am defending Kokichi. Never, ever put me in this position again. I swear to God. He said that the case is meaningless, not that her death is meaningless. Which is wrong and incorrect and a stupid thing to say, but it's not what you said he said, so... Ugh.
Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her?
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Kokichi? Remember earlier, when you said you were the culprit? Remember that lie you told? And all the other thousands of lies you told that we all saw through instantly? Yeah, you're not in a position to be talking about crappy lies here, buddy.
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now.
Not your moment, Kaito.
Our only option is to face her death head on.
This is not time for you to... She was venting, she was mourning. You don't... This isn't... What do you... Ugh.
Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through, so I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what big brain deductions Kaito brings to the table.
I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito! Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless.
Please, you should... Why get... Yeah, well, obviously she can't do magic, but, I mean, if she can. Can you just put a curse on Kokichi, like, forever, just so we can never speak for the rest of his life, ever, for any reason? You should have done that from the beginning of the game, but, you know, better late than never. That works too.
Suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Yes, Sumigi, that was the joke. Thank you for spelling it out.
All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run. I won't forgive something so messed up.
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
Yeah, and who's sidetracking us? You. You have been the sole cause of every single sidetrack discussion throughout this entire game so far.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death.
Wait, but I thought you said this was supposed to be about her death and not trying to survive. Oh no. Oh, uh-oh, looks like you broke your own standard again.
Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on.
You mean survive it? You mean so you can survive this trial?
Finally, you noticed. Jeez.
I swear to God, if you try to claim,
Oh, it was on my plan all along to motivate you guys, yeah.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance.
Yeah, so I was gonna say is like it has to be either me, Himiko, Kokichi, or Korikyo. Okay, I may say me. Either Korikyo, Shuichi, Himiko, or Kokichi. It has to be one of them, and we know it's Korikyo because of all the clues we mentioned previously.
The people who attended the seance. The people who attended the seance.
Korikyo, Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi. That is all of them, correct? Yep, that's all of them. But I'm... You know that paranoid feeling, like, before you live on vacations, like, hey, did I pack anything? Did I forget anything? Like that, like, you know you didn't. You know that you ran through a checklist. You know you have everything you need. But it's that, like, last second doubt. It's like, but did I? Did I forget something? Did I miss something? And, like, I had that same feeling there. It's like, I know these names, but did I forget one? Am I missing one? It's just, you know, last second kind of thing.
Four are the culprits.
Himiko's still culprit?
I think you're confusing the word suspect for culprits, since it obviously can't be all four of us.
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
The first intelligent thought that has ever come out of his mouth.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yet. If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
No, because you're the one who brought it up in the first place. None of us would have known about it if it weren't for you, and there was no reason to do it at all after her murder, after Angie already died. Because as evidenced by the fact that it failed colossally, and the fact that this whole seance thing is bullshit in this stupid universe, there was no one should have gone along with this. So obviously you had an ulterior motive to it, especially considering the fact that, like, you would have had to, okay, you would have had to set it up ahead of time. So, like, the setup for this murder could not have been done on the spot. And the cutting out the floorboard and all that we discovered could have had to be done way ahead of time, which means that the person who killed Tenko in the seance had to have known long ahead of time that this murder was going to take place. Meaning that if it was one of the people, if it was anyone other than you, it couldn't have been, because let's say, I don't know, Himiko really did do it, and she was the killer. That doesn't make sense, because she would have heard Korikyo suggest the idea of the seance, and then she would have had no time to set up. She would have had to cut out the floorboard with the saw and all that, and she couldn't have done that in time, which means the only person who could have reasonably done this is the person who knew about it all way ahead of time, because he would have had to set it up ahead of time, and you are the one who brought this up initially. That doesn't clear your suspicion, buddy.
Well, I suppose...
No, that you don't suppose anything.
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh. Is that... There was a hole in the wall, right? I seem to remember there being a hole in the wall. Hold on, wait. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting something here. I seem to remember there being a hole. Okay, hole in the corner. No, not that. There was a hole. There was a giant hole in the wall. I don't know where, but there was a giant underneath the floor where there was a giant hole in the wall. So my thought process right now is maybe what happened is because there were 3 rooms. There were 3 identical rooms. And we saw a giant hole underneath the floorboard that a human being could easily, excuse me, walk or crawl through to get underneath the other rooms. So that doesn't actually clear you of anything, because you could have just, like, set up the contraption, like the seesaw thing, in all 3 rooms in preparation, like, in case anyone chose any of the rooms, that you would have been prepared either way. I can't prove that, but I know there was a giant hole in that wall. And the only reason I think that'd be there is if you were trying to get between all of them to set up the same contraption in all 3 rooms. So this doesn't really clear you of suspicion. Although I do find it interesting that I just shouted a random name when I said, let's say Himiko did it, and it turns out she's the one that suggested the middle room. Not saying she did it, she obviously did, it was obviously him. And this doesn't clear suspicion.
Right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance.
Why?
The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Are you referring to the... Are you referring to the hole? Are you... Really? Are you talking about the hole in the corner of the room?
There! You're talking about under the floor, right?
No. No. That hole was barely big enough for the sickle to fit through. You mean to tell me a human crawled through there? No. No, also, you would have... No, I was gonna say you would have heard someone walking across the floorboards, but then I realized that you should have heard that anyway, because Koriki would have had to walk across the floor to get to that part of the floorboard where the floorboard was. You should have heard him, you should have heard him walking, and you should have heard his voice moving through the room. How you heard neither of those things, I have no idea.
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the
Yep, right there.
room.
That's it. That's what I was talking about right there. The giant hole in the wall connecting it to neighboring rooms. You can move through all those rooms, get underneath all of them, which makes me think that maybe the same setup was in all 3 rooms, because they were identical. They were identical rooms.
The hole. They could have entered and exited the seance.
Not through that hole, you couldn't.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's
Oh,
killer.
are you gonna say, oh, it was Kibo because he can see in the dark, or something like that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like I should just get the hole in the corner out, because whatever you say, I feel like this can counter, because no one could have possibly fit through this tiny hole.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Let me guess, because Kibo can see through. What?
You see, our villain had a light.
No, because any lights which you brought under the floorboard would have shined through the giant hole in the floor. What are you talking about? Yeah, okay. The fact that it was pitch black means that you obviously did. Okay, they obviously did not have a light, because the hole in the corner, which you so heavily pointed out, any lights which they had would have shined directly through that hole, and we would have seen it. What are you talking about? Look at how small that hole is. You are not going to try to tell me that anyone could have reasonably fit through there. Come the hell on.
If the light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
Shame, because no one feels bad for you.
Enough with the flash flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Well, that's not true, but they connect to the case, just not in the way that Q wants you to believe it is.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Well, that's not true because the stabbing was in the
Nice
back.
observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class
She was
trial?
facing, her head was facing down, so that obviously is not true because it would have impaled through her body, but no, it just impaled, the stabbing was in her back, not the front of her body.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Truer words have never been spoken in the context of Danganronpa.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that.
Hey, remember the second game when this Teru crawled on the floor and searched for a glowing paint marker? Remember the second game? It's great. It's beat you over the head with nostalgia until you like our game.
That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Feel nostalgia. Be nostalgic, damn it.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
The corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
Yeah, fussing over a cut floorboard that would have to have been manually cut in the room in which she was killed. That won't get us anywhere.
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however.
But it'd be real convenient for you if we did now, wouldn't it?
Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
How? With the sickle, by you stomping on the floorboard and launching her up into the sickle, hiding on top of the cage. When? During the seance. We were all singing that creepy-ass song.
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
That obviously didn't happen, because she was talking to us.
Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
But she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Huh?
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your lipstick brains!
You're all idiots for thinking that. Now think of another theory. I'm not going to propose one of my own. Just think of one
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
Yes, it was.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time.
That's true.
She was dead when the cage was lifted.
Yep.
What about moment cage was lifted?
That obviously didn't happen.
Like that.
No, hold on. No, hold on. That very obviously didn't happen because there's a bloodstain on the white sheet.
No one saw.
That very obviously did not. And now I get to rewind through the whole thing. I'm not sorry. Rewinding is what I want, but no, we can't do that. We have to fast forward through it and loop back around. Because why not? Obviously, it didn't happen the moment she was left. We have the proof that this was otherwise. Alright, going to set it. So I think it's after this. Right here. Go away and... Oh, I hate this. I've always hated it since January. No, sorry. Since a year ago. Since late July of last year. I've always hated this garbage gameplay system with the stupid truth bullets and the non-stop debate. I've always hated it. I've never liked it. I've always despised this mechanic. It's completely unnecessary and arbitrary. But you gotta do it because it's Danganronpa and we gotta be special and cool and different. Alright, let's try shooting it over here. Just... Oh my god. I hate this stupid... This gameplay is just garbage. Like, yes, the other minigames are great, but sometimes a bad apple spoils the bunch. Okay, let's try it again. Maybe this time it'll actually connect. And then maybe we won't have to... The most annoying thing is that you have to loop through the entire... Like, you can't just rewind like a normal thing. You just have to... Yeah, there we go. You literally have to fast forward through every sentence. Not even... You can't even skip them. You literally have to listen to them all say them out loud, even at fast forward speed. And then loop back around again.
Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
Your golden brain has yet to get anything right that actually had, excuse me, any semblance of logic behind it. You've taken shots in the dark and gotten lucky with guessing the culprit. But in terms of actually why you've, like, the logic leading up to this thing, is like, you can make a shot in the dark prediction, but if you don't have any evidence to support it, it doesn't really mean much, so you've not led us to any reasonable conclusion to anything you've ever said.
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
Oh, for God's sake, now what do you want? Actually, don't answer that question.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
And why is that?
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Oh joy, I can't wait. I mean, at least this minigame's fun, so there's that, at least. This doesn't listen to your stupid words. Last moments, Marker Stone, loose floor, dying cage, sickle onto the floor. I'm guessing it's probably going to be this, because this proves that that they wanted her at a specific, they wanted Tenko to be at a specific place in the room. Which obviously, the Marker Stone would prove demonstrably. I'm guessing we're going to need this.
Sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
No, she wasn't sitting. She was not sitting. She was kneeling over. Nope. No, don't even try. She was not sitting in there. She was kneeling over. She was kneeling over with her forehead on the Marker Stone. She wasn't sitting.
Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the Marker Stone, and the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Well, yes, but so are you, buddy. So, you have no ground to stand on here in terms of that.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Now if the weapon was inside the cage.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, for a living person.
Oh my Jesus Christ, I swear to God.
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
End me now. Jesus Christ, why are we entertaining this?
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
No. No.
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible! Spirits can't be culprits!
My brain is self-destructing as this case goes on.
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Easy. The murder weapon was inside the cage, attached to the ceiling of the cage, and then when she, I guess stood up is the wrong word, when she leaned up, or I guess leaned back, which caused her back to tilt upward towards the top of the cage, she impaled herself with the murder weapon that Korikiyu placed there.
Well...
See? You can't explain.
No, I can. I literally just did.
Spirit could have done.
Wait! I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
So close, and yet so far.
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No. If there was someone else in the cage, we would have
I agree with
noticed.
Kaito.
Really? Because you didn't notice Korikiyu walking across the floorboards with his loud-ass footsteps, or the fact that his voice would have moved through the room. You didn't hear any of that, so...
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
The they she's referring to.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage, and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Yeah, but it wasn't found directly underneath her, it was found underneath the hole in the floor. She would have had to throw it all the... Yeah, no way.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right? Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity.
Her
conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
my god, Kokichi. Why are you so stupid?
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her.
Hey, remember when they did that in Chapter 5 and it made no sense? Yeah, well, feel nostalgia, be nostalgic, like our game, damn it.
Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
That is not in character with Tenko. That is so not in character with who Tenko is. I can believe that Tenko would have been willing to die herself in order to protect Himiko, because that's, like, she may have been frustrating at times to deal with, but I won't deny that Tenko had an undying, passionate love for Himiko, and I will not, that's palpable, and it's actually kind of pain. You know, I'm actually getting annoyed with Spike Chunsoft at this point, because in Zero Time Dilemma, like, there was actual chemistry between Diana and Fi that I'm like, hey, I kind of want to see you guys develop that a little bit more and turn it into a relationship. And then they're like, nah, fuck you, they're actually mother-daughter. Because that, yeah, sure. Did you want to see them get together? Well, too bad for you, now they're mother-daughter. So, out the window that goes. Then in Danganronpa 3, it's like, hey, you see this relationship that Mahiru and, what's her name? I called her Candace. I don't know what her real name is. That they had in Danganronpa 3, and like, oh, you two are so sweet. I would watch a whole show just about you two, you know, like as a couple. Can we please get more of this? Like, nah, fuck you, she dies in the next scene. And now, in this game, they're like, hey, Tenko has a massive crush on Himiko. It's kind of adorable. Tenko may be annoying at times, but it's kind of adorable. Yeah, well, guess what? Fuck you, she's dead. I'm getting annoyed with Spike Chunsoft about this. Is real.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that.
Yeah, by the way, I got sidetracked. Point being, she would not have. It's not in her character. She would have been willing to die to protect Himiko. That's in character, but it's not in character for her to die and then be like, come with me to the afterlife. That's not in her character at all.
Told me.
What if all of that was just a lie?
Yeah, oh my god.
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer.
Yes, that's probably a good thing to hide in this situation.
Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
When she's as open and honest with you as she was.
Naive, dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Okay, so if I say my secret is that I love, I don't know, is there a flavor of ice cream that's like universally hated? I don't know. Let's say my secret is that I love the world's most hated ice cream flavor. And then I'm like, yeah, it's a secret, but it doesn't hurt anyone. It just means I like this one particular ice cream flavor. Kokichi over here is like, yeah, but you're lying about that. It's like, it's literally fucking ice cream, dude. What do you mean lying about how malicious? It doesn't. The secret will present itself with how malicious it is. You can't paste maliciousness onto something that has inherent. Oh my god, this man.
It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
The training was his idea. Why would he?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down.
Yeah, that's Nagito's job.
That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
Well, I mean, it's possible for her to have killed herself without intentionally doing so.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
A proper reason?
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like.
Is that my cue to lie? Because she's like, is there really a reason? And then she's like, and then he's like, yes, of course there is. If you trust me. So is that my cue to lie? I think that's my cue to lie.
I need you to trust in my detective work.
That's my cue to lie. Yep.
I didn't believe Tenko would kill us all because of what she said.
No, you didn't. Yeah. Okay.
We shouldn't be satisfied with that, and if we keep thinking we'll find the truth, I'll make them all believe. I'll make them all believe with my edgelord tactics. And also my lies, because lying in a game where you're trying to find the truth is a brilliant idea, obviously.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Let me guess. I need to turn this into a lie and be like, Because it's gonna be like, oh well, she couldn't have thrown away the sickle because she died instantly, even though we have this evidence that proves that. Great.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength.
No, I didn't. I forgot to turn it into a. God damn it. Okay. Forgot to turn it into a lie, because I need to lie, because I need to be like, no, because she didn't. Like, it doesn't benefit your game to have all these fancy words flying around constantly. It just makes it, it's just arbitrary difficulty boost. It doesn't make this any better to play. In fact, it makes it much, much worse.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor, because she died instantly. Instantly? I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear it from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Said the pathological liar. Thank you, Maki.
You forget that, Maki roll. You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like we thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Glad we went through that whole pointless charade. That was fun.
Suicide was considered because we could not determine when she was killed.
But the thing is, like, technically she did kill herself, but the implication behind that is that she intentionally wanted to end her own life, which is not correct. She led to her own death. Her actions led to her own death, but it wasn't anything she had control over. It was still Korikiyu who placed the sickle there that caused her to die. It was just her sitting up that led to it.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're not gonna do jack shit. You're gonna sit there and I'm gonna do everything, as usual.
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
Well, there was a noise, but no one reacted to it. There was a loud clanking noise. There should have been more noises than that, but there was one loud clanking noise that no one reacted
If you
to.
know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery.
Okay, non-stop debate. Here we go. Cage, yep, need the sound during the seance, but get that out.
During the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Oh, what is this? Oh my, oh, that's gonna be buckets of fun. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. Fun. I really... Okay, just 3 more trials after this. 3 more class trials, and then I'm out of this forever. Let's try to catch it immediately. Oh my god. Break it instantly. Throw it. Oh, that worked. I guess that worked. Somehow. Whatever. We did it. It's done. It's over. Great.
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. It could have fallen down.
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something think so, but
It wasn't me falling, it was the sound of the floorboard being smacked upward.
Something hit the floorboard.
A loud sound, like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark.
And that other thing would be the loose floorboard, or the floorboard coming loose, which should be, here it is.
This is it! I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound. That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
could the floorboard have made such a loud sound though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There would have to have been a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly...
That's some grammar. What could it possibly be? We proofread the script.
We all gotta put our heads together now.
Okay, another go at it. Well, we know what happened is Koriki stomped on the ground to flip up the floorboard like a seesaw. So I'm guessing we're gonna need this to prove that.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
Yep. Looks like I caught it right before it tried to spin away from me with bullshit speed again.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Go to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
What do they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the crosspiece and floorboard. Tango's body was at one end of the loose floorboard, and the crosspiece that had been cut was at the other end of the floorboard. That unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Only one of the crosspieces was cut, so the other two were intact. One of them was right under Tenko. And the other,
Wow, they really don't want you to figure out anything for yourself. They really do not want you to figure out anything for yourself. Just like, hey, look, it's a seesaw. Can't you tell? Don't you know how this works?
what was the culprit attempting to do Chiba stomping on the floor? It was, come on, think.
I already thought about this. Alright, Hangman's Gambit time. Here we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay, we need. Okay. C. This is. Sorry. So when I say C, I mean like the word C, not the letter C. C. I need an S somewhere. Where's an S? I need an S. Okay. C. Saw. What's the second word? Seesaw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is an E and F. Effect maybe. Yep. Okay. I think it's effect. I think it's no. Is it not? Is it not effect? Okay, I guess I just hit the wrong letter. Okay, we need another F, and then an E. Now we need the letter C. Where is the letter C? I don't see the C. Okay, one there. There's the C here, and then there's a T right here. There we go, seesaw effect.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage, meaning if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusion can I draw from this? Because you can draw the sickle was placed on the roof of the cage. Yep, top of the cage.
That's it! The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down. The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble, but the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage. She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in a crouched position, but with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
And the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
Spoken as if that's a completely normal thing.
Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
Congratulations, you described Danganronpa in a nutshell.
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know?
The writers defending their shitty writing.
They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the
No,
box.
they would have gotten away with it though. As I say, they would have gotten away with it if they didn't. If Koryu didn't go after the freaking second murder with Tenko, he would have gotten away scot-free, and we never could have pinned it on him.
Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
Oh, this should be good.
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
Oh, do tell.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
Okay, simple. Just go check the other rooms. If all the rooms have the same cutout, which I can guarantee you they do since there's a wall underneath them that's busted out, making for easy traversal between all three rooms, I can almost guarantee you that if we check all three rooms, all three of them have the same floor, have the same thing cut out. And if you're gonna say, we can't leave the classroom during the trial, I will cite to you the first game. There's a precedent for this. We left the classroom in the middle, sorry, we left the whatever this room's called, in the middle of the class trial to go check the locker room gym thing in chapter 2 to check Chihiro's body. There's precedent for this. Go check the rooms, mystery solved. Boom, easy, done.
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room.
So this plan revolves around you suggesting the idea of the seance, which she had no idea you were going to do because, oh my god.
She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
Also, she has no motive for this, so don't even try.
Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Which makes no goddamn sense.
Wait, we don't know that, right?
We know it's not true.
He's wrong, right, Himiko?
Yes.
Himiko would never kill Tenko.
He's completely wrong.
Right?
Tenko?
No, you didn't. No, you did not.
Himiko? What's wrong, Himiko?
It is true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea. But does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? Did something like that really happen? No. Something so cruel?
Okay, that was longer than usual. Usually the first part of the trial only lasts around an hour. This one was closer to 2 hours. Which hopefully means the second half will be shorter. If I'm lucky. As expected, this trial's crap so far. None of this makes any sense. Let's hope that the second half can save it. That'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I'll catch you all tomorrow for some more Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Goodbye.